Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. So lifestyle providers, healthcare providers, the healthcare clinics, the Center for Lifestyle Medicine, are all original programming, television, web, podcast, our radio shows. We're developing brand new content for you. New shows are coming out, all health related, to impact your health and your life. That's what this show is about. That's what we're about. Leading the way to help you have a better lifestyle, to live a better life, and to thrive and not just barely make it. Gallbladder's a big deal. What if your doctor tells you just get it cut out? Oh, it's no big deal. You don't need it? Well, we do need it. We were given it for a reason. You can live without it. Yes, you can. The body will compensate. But the gallbladder is pretty amazing at what it does. Let's talk about it for just a second. A lot of people don't really know. So we pay attention to all the other areas, but what about the gallbladder? Okay, what it does, it's a little sac underneath the liver, stores bile from the liver. It's a little substance. And the gallbladder releases the bile in the cystic duct into the small intestine to help break down the food you eat, mostly fatty foods, okay? So typically the gallbladder doesn't cause too many problems for a concern, but a lot of times it can slow or block the flow of bile from the gallbladder. A number of issues can result and lead to gallbladder disease. So what can happen is cholelithiasis, which is gallstones. And it's a common condition where these small stones, or sometimes larger ones, develop in the gallbladder. The gallstones then can cause pain, what we call biliary colic. And about 90% of people with gallstones will have no symptoms whatsoever, but most symptomatic gallstones have present in a number of years. So for unknown reasons, if you have gallstones for more than 10 years, they're less likely to cause the symptoms. But the biliary colic is a term often used by severe episodes of the pain, that cramping that you get in that right side down by your rib cage. That's what that is. So an inflamed gallbladder can also happen, inflammation of the gallbladder. Cholecystitis, it's caused by gallstones, excessive alcohol use, infections, or even tumors that can cause the bile buildup. And the most common cause of cholecystitis is gallstones. And the body can react to gallstone irritation by causing the gallbladder walls to become swollen and painful. And the episodes of inflammation can last for several hours. So it's pretty amazing how that happens. Dysfunctional gallbladder or chronic gallbladder disease is another one too. And the symptoms are a lot more constant, but tend to be vague, including abdominal fullness, indigestion, and increased gas. So a lot of the bloating and all that happens, that can be a big deal. So here's some of the symptoms, okay? If you have some of these symptoms, you may have a little bit of a gallbladder condition that you want to check out. Severe abdominal pain when you eat, pain that may extend beneath the right shoulder blade to the back, we call it referred pain. Pain that worsens after eating in a meal, like fatty foods. Pain that feels dull, sharp, or crampy in that little area down by your rib cage, right side, okay? Pain that increases when you breathe in deeply, chest pain, heartburn, indigestion, excessive gas, feeling of fullness in the abdomen, and a little bit of jaundice, the yellow of the eyes. That can happen too. And if you get stool of an unusual color, like a clay color, that could be an issue as well. So just keep an eye out on it. If you have those kind of symptoms, talk to your doctor. It's important. Very, very important. 888-283-7272. But don't get it cut out, by the way, unless it's absolutely necessary. If it's just casual, like it's bothering you, there's some sludge in it, get multiple opinions before you do that. You don't want to jump in and just automatically have it cut out. Unless it's an emergency, unless there's a big stone blocking the cystic duct and it's an emergency, really take some time and think about it. It's really important, that's for sure. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Check us out. Newsletter goes out almost every day. We've got videos that are out to help you and coach you and encourage you, to help you along the way. Really cool stuff. That's what we're about. Your healthcare on demand. All right, let's go to Diane. Hi, Diane.
And I'm living with 4 comorbidities: diabetes, asthma, arthritis, third-stage kidney disease. And if I'm correct about it, I think all 4 are inflammatory issues. And I heard you talking about the amino acid address on the computer. But I'm wondering, with third-stage kidney disease, would that be a problem? I know amino acids are proteins, and so the kidney thing is my biggest question.
Yeah, amino acids are your building blocks, right? Those are proteins. And when you eat a meal, like if you ate a piece of chicken or fish, then you get amino acids from that. Protein's important. It's vital for the body. An overload of protein is the concern with the kidney. So I wouldn't be so concerned about amino acids. You can get that from your food. As far as taking like a supplement, you definitely want your nephrologist to comment on this, just because that's what they do. And if you're under that care, I would mention to them, they're going to give you a diet, like a kidney supportive diet, okay? And in that, they're going to give you certain amounts and ranges of food you can have and ones you have to stay away from, and phosphorus and all phosphorus-containing foods. They're going to give you a list of that. And you want to follow it. So I wouldn't worry about taking extra supplementation. I would be concerned about getting the highest quality food you can get. So for the protein that you do take in, you want to get it from a high source. Okay, that's really the big deal. You want to make sure you're getting it in a great way from good food sources. So I guess what I'm saying is don't get it from junk. You want to get it from the right source in the right way that will support your body in the best way, okay? Because it really does. It makes a difference. Quality is extremely important. 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website. We're here for you each and every day to help you with your health and your life. That's what it's about. That's what we're about. So restaurants now are cutting calories in kids' meals, which is kind of a cool thing. Popular restaurants have cut calories in children's meals and are offering some healthier side dishes like fruits and vegetables, a new study shows. And the industry has started making some changes, but it's focused mostly on calorie improvements are needed to consistently offer healthier combinations. So at Tufts Friedman School of Nutrition in Boston, the investigators looked at online nutrition information, children's meal options for all the fast food chains. And the study looked at it, according to the results, 72% of fast food meals and 63% of sit-down meals had 600 calories or less. So they're encouraging the people and the different companies to lower the calories so that we don't create more of the obesity epidemic in our kids. Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at InShapeNetwork.com.
Check us out on the web. I'm America's Health Coach, here to help you each and every day, to encourage you and take you to the next level with your health and with your life. Let's go to the phones. Talk to Martha. Hi, Martha.
I'm calling about neuropathy. My husband has horrible neuropathy and leg cramping.
Well, with neuropathy, one of the big things with that and the leg cramping, one of the big things you got to look at are any type of vitamin or mineral deficiencies, and they're very, very common. Okay, matter of fact, in all the standard medical text, in the research, we know that a deficiency in B6, and there's different types of B6, but a deficiency in B6 can really make the difference. And so what happens is with B6, it's called pyridoxine or pyridoxamine, and when that gets low, that can lead to neuropathy. Now, other things, of course, can cause it, such as diet and diabetes. I mean, there's a lot of conditions that can cause neuropathy. You could just have a lot of DJD, degenerative joint disease, in an area, and that can be a reason too. But I would look at the deficiencies, have some blood testing done, and figure out what the root cause might be, and see if that can play or see if that can make a difference by looking at the different deficiencies to see if they're there, okay? Because a lot of times that is the root cause. And when you build those areas back up, including omega-3 fatty acids, so getting the omegas checked can also help tremendously. So I would look at that as well, okay? 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Give us a call or go to the website. Are you a runner? You might want to think about it. Running now, they're saying, can add about 3 years to your lifespan. It's just pretty cool. So runners live an average of 3 years longer than people that don't run, according to new research. And some people may say, well, I don't like running, so I'll give up the 3 years. But it's actually good. I mean, even small amounts of running can help. They don't have to run. You don't have to run a lot to get the benefits. Matter of fact, the study author in this was a professor of kinesiology at Iowa State University. If you start running and continue running at an attainable health goal, it's not clear, they said, whether the longer lifespan is directly caused by running. They have to say that. U.S. guidelines, though, is 75 minutes of vigorous activity, which is about 30 minutes of moderate intensity most days of the week. But most people who exercised less than that still receive significant health benefits. See, if you just get out and get moving, that's what matters. If you just get out and get your body moving, that can make a huge difference. So if you run less than 51 minutes, fewer than 6 miles, slower than 6 miles per hour, or only 1 to 2 times, was still associated with solid health benefits compared to no running at all, which is pretty cool. So this was all looked at in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. And so the study involved more than 55,000 adults aged 18 to 100, and participants were asked to compete or to complete a questionnaire about their running habits, and researchers kept track of those who died during the study period. But the researchers discovered that people who didn't run had a life expectancy 3 years less than that of runners, and running was linked to about 30% lower risk of death from any cause and 45% lower risk of death from heart disease or stroke compared to no running at all. So even less avid runners receive significant benefits, running a minimum of 30 minutes to 59 minutes each week, which is about 5 to 10 minutes a day. Not that bad. I mean, if you just get on the treadmill and run 5 minutes, really, and you get these kind of health benefits, that's not a lot. So to get out and start doing that and start keeping your body to a place where it can run and you can stay active can make a big difference. I'll tell you that along with running, yoga is a great type form of exercise to keep your body strong and to keep your body in rhythm where it needs to be. I mean, longevity with yoga is extremely powerful of what it can do. Really is. In Greenville, South Carolina, there's a Dr. Michael Scott Emery. He's the co-chair of the American College of Cardiology Sports and Exercise Council. Found a little surprising that 5 to 10 minutes had such an impact. He's like, I can't believe that basically this is enough to create the impact in people's lives. Very, very good. And it's true. Just get out, get moving. Running, though, is powerful. It's something that I've always included in my routine. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Lines are open. Give us a call or go to the website. Let's go to Mark. Hi, Mark.
24 years old. I've had a bad back since high school, and I was just wondering if there's anything I could do naturally to reduce the pain and inflammation. And the pain in my back goes down my legs and sometimes up into my neck.
Yeah, there's a couple things you can do. In lifestyle medicine, the way we look at it, you've got the structural aspect of the body, so the spinal column, and you can have, of course, when pain is there, that's your foundation. So you want to make sure the spine's working right, that the nerves coming out of the spine are working effectively. There's no restriction or really inflammation is a better word around that. DJD or degenerative changes that can happen around the disc is something that needs to be looked at as well. So to make sure that everything's working effectively is key. That's why I'd get it evaluated. You know, osteopathic physicians, chiropractic physicians, those are both great options to figure out a way to really see if the body's working at its peak level. That's one of the main ones. So I would look into that first and see, because they can do some basic studies. You can do MRI, you can do x-rays, and really get a good overview about what's going on inside the body from a solid perspective that can give you the help that you need. But I would do that first, because the back pain and neck pain can be treated. In our practice, the Center for Lifestyle Medicine, in our clinics and our providers can make a tremendous difference over a short-term period of care.
Are you ready to chow? It's time for Keto Chow. When it comes to eating healthy, the keto diet has become one of the nutrition leaders in optimizing health, losing unwanted weight, and reaching your health and wellness goals. No extravagant cooking, no long kitchen cleanup, and most importantly, especially for me, it's convenient. Just put quality Keto Chow powder in a bottle, add some heavy whipping cream or your favorite fat, a little water, and boom, shake it up and you're ready to chow. Keto Chow tastes amazing. So make Keto Chow easy for you and your family today with Keto Chow. Let's go chow. Visit Keto Chow online at ketochow.xyz. That's ketochow.xyz.
To find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
Well, to get your health right, your lifestyle is your medicine. So the choices we make every single day, they matter. But getting the kind of body that we want, getting healthy like we want, comes down to some simple, basic principles that we need to follow. Now, a lot of times I get asked the question about getting healthy or getting fit, getting the abs, dropping the belly fat, and getting fit, right? So to get in fit is to be in shape, and be in shape is a great concept, because when you're in shape, you feel good. When you're in shape, you feel good about yourself. When you're in shape, you feel strong, right? Strong is the new thin. You know, strong is where it's at. So we want to be strong. We want to be athletic. We want to be agile. We want to be in a place where we can really function well, right? So to be able to function well is to be able to thrive is where it's at, and that's the key. So how do we get there? The question is, how do we get there? How do we manage that, and how do we get our bodies the way we want it, to that level, in that place? It's important. Well, I'll tell you one of the big keys, and we're going to talk about that today. I've been wanting to talk about this for quite some time, just because our hormone levels, if they are not right, I'll tell you this, I get people that come into our clinics. We coach people all around the world, our video coaching and our telehealth that we use. And we have clients all over, patients all over. And one of the big outcries is, I eat right, I follow your eating plan, I exercise 5 to 6 days a week, I use resistance training, I do everything right, I've got my macros right, and I still can't lose the belly fat, or I still can't lose that last 10 pounds, or I still can't get my body where it needs to go. It just doesn't look the way I want it, right? So you're not in shape the way you want to be. And there's a key to that. So you have to figure out exactly what it is. It comes down, I'll tell you this, many times the baseline of that comes down to hormones. You have to get the hormones right. When the hormones are right, you are right, okay? When your hormones are right, everything's working the way it needs to. Hormones are the key. And testosterone is the big one I want to talk about today, because women have testosterone just as much as men. In men, it's our primary hormone. All right, guys? It's what gives us our drive, our drive for life, our sex drive, our libido. It gives us focus and energy, all that, right? With women, it does the same thing. It helps with their sex drive, gives them drive, purpose, and can do all that. So there's ways to help raise testosterone. Low T is what we call it, but low T or low testosterone has become a significant health challenge in our nation. It really is, and around the country. I mean, the higher the stress levels are, and over the years, it seems like testosterone levels have gone down even more and more. So we want to figure out ways to get testosterone levels up so the body's functioning at a higher level. So number one, to do that, you have to reduce your stress level, number one. All right, so reducing the stress level is the first area that needs to be looked at. Both physical and emotional stress is super important. So when your body goes into survival mode, the last thing it worries about is sex. Okay, so when you're in survival mode all the time, the body's not going to think about it. So you reduce the stress level. So we're talking about low T. A lot of times people will say, well, my sex drive or my libido's gone down. So Roy Tramler, he's the director of the Mount Sinai Diabetes Center in New York, said as the stress hormone cortisol goes up, the testosterone hormone goes down. You can't have both. So natural stress relievers like exercise will improve your mental health and keep your testosterone production up. You want to aim for about 150 minutes of aerobic exercise each week, or 75 minutes of higher intensity. All right, the second thing you want to do for testosterone to help you get in shape is you want to get rid of that spare tire, get rid of the belly fat. And when you get rid of the spare tire and the belly fat, guys, this is a big one for us because the extra weight around your waist. Remember, your waistline is your lifeline, right? So if you have extra spare tire around your waist, it'll contribute to lower testosterone. As belly fat increases, the activity of the enzyme aromatase increases too. And this aromatase converts testosterone into the hormone estrogen. So the less testosterone and more estrogen causes fat to build up in the breast and the hips. So to determine your healthy weight, learn how to calculate your body mass index. And every point you knock off your BMI will help your testosterone level improve. That's a big one. So maintaining good heart health is another one. Anything good for your heart health is good for your testosterone level too. So maintaining good cardiovascular health means reaching and maintaining a healthy weight, regular exercise, and eating a heart-healthy diet. The best exercise for low testosterone is a combination of aerobic exercise and weight training. I mean, those two together are great. They really do. They make a huge difference. We see that with clients all the time, patients all the time. And it's one of the number one prescriptions that we use in our clinics for lifestyle is simply getting the exercise, the aerobic exercise, and a higher intensity style of weight training. It stimulates these hormones to be produced in the body. And the best diet really is one that's low in, moderate in protein and has a good amount of carbohydrates and moderate in the fats. Okay, you do that and you'll create really, really good balance in the body. I can't tell you how much our eating habits really make a big difference. Zinc is a really important supplement for us to use too, because zinc is a catalyst in the cascade for making testosterone. It's one of those key minerals that we just don't get enough of, and stress will destroy zinc. The higher our stress levels are, that's why you see a lot of cold remedies for people that have little colds and flus. If you go to the store and you get anything natural, you will see like the zinc supplements. A lot of the supplements contain zinc, and the reason for that is that the zinc, when it gets low in the body, it will cut down our immune system. Well, the other thing is when zinc gets low in the body, it will cut down your overall production of testosterone. So you have to have high levels of zinc or at least good levels of zinc to actually produce the right amount of testosterone in the body. So that's extremely important. So you want to make sure that you got plenty of zinc. That's really important for testosterone levels. We're talking about getting in shape. And so if you want to get abs, if you want to get lean and you want to be stronger, testosterone levels have to be at a good level. You can't have low testosterone and build a strong, healthy body. It's the main hormone that our body needs to do that. And I see guys in their 30s and 40s with testosterone that's all the way down in the hundreds, right? And I don't think you need to jump straight into the hormone replacement therapy. I know you're thinking that right now, but you don't have to do that. You don't. Your body can produce it. Your own body can produce enough testosterone for your body to get in shape, for you to be athletic enough, and for your body to do well. You just have to make sure the overall environment, the overall picture, okay? So we're talking about you maintain good heart health with regular exercise, get rid of the belly fat. These are all ways to raise your testosterone level. Reduce your stress level. Emotional stress leads to low T. So you got to manage that and get out of survival mode. Now, you got to rule out sleep apnea and make sure you're getting really good sleep. So a good solid 7 to 9 hours is definitely what's needed. Matter of fact, when you cut back on your sleep, if you cut back, like let's say to 5 hours of sleep and that's it, you're going to cut your testosterone by 21%, guaranteed. It's all in the research, all in the studies. So if you're not sleeping, your testosterone levels are already going to be down. Go easy on the alcohol too, because what happens is, like belly fat, too much alcohol causes testosterone to be converted into estrogen and can contribute to the low T. So the high quantities of alcohol over a long period of time can be toxic to the testicles and decrease production of testosterone. So alcohol can also interfere with the signals between the brain and the testes for regulating testosterone production long term. So they're saying no more than 2 drinks a day. Keep it simple. Don't use the drugs either. Okay, opiate drugs, marijuana are all linked to low sperm production and low testosterone. If you want to keep your T up and you want to maintain healthy body fat levels and really get your body leaner, then you got to be careful with the opiates and that sort of thing. So I would be cautious of that. And finally, you want to avoid self-treatment for testosterone. So if you think you're low, don't get an over-the-counter supplement. All right, the FDA has pretty much removed a lot of the testosterone-raising supplements used by bodybuilders. And really, if you're going to do it, go to your doctor if you want to. But when you're getting in shape and you really want to get in shape, you can check it out, which is really a powerful tool We have a whole entire program and system to get your body in shape, to get you healthy from A to Z, to walk from having no abs to abs, to be able to live the healthy lifestyle, to get healthy and strong. Remember, healthy is strong. And that's what we want to do, is create that strength for you to be able to give you the help that you need right there at InShape University. You can check it out. Just go to the website. Powerful tools. Hormones are powerful, but if you follow these tips that we talked about today, you can keep your testosterone levels up, which will give you the strength, cut down the body fat, and also give you the tools you need for a lean, strong body.
Did you know that you can listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
Welcome back to the show. Check us out on the web. We're here for you each and every day to help you thrive and not just barely make it, but to do well and to know that your lifestyle is your medicine in so many different ways. So I'm real big on foods and healthy lifestyle choices that we make each and every day, but I'm also real big on making sure you have a clean environment in your home, right? Because personal care products, your cleaning products, and there can be a lot of things lurking as far as bacteria goes that can be hurting your health, mold as well. So here's some of the germiest places in your house that you're not really cleaning. So it's easy for bacteria and food particles to get trapped in these crevices, but sponges in your kitchen are one of the most breeding grounds for bacteria. So try antibacterial sponges and dish soaps that limit the lesser bacteria of evil. So you want to be careful with that. But if you have a microwave, you can actually stick the sponge. You soak it in bleach, stick it in the microwave for a short period of time. You can microwave on high for 2 minutes, and it will kill 99% of the bacteria. It's pretty cool. Drip coffee makers. So even though the coffee itself has some antimicrobial properties, those drip coffee makers need to be cleaned. If you don't do that, it's just a huge breeding ground. So you want to run a 50-50 mix of water and white vinegar through the machine once a month to help cut out the mold that can be in there. And you let half a mixture run through the machine, switch it off for an hour before finishing the cycle. And don't forget to clean it about once a month. That's another one. In the bathroom, what about that bath mat that sits there on the floor? Pressed against the floor, dark, damp environment. A lot of mold builds up in that. You can launder that mat once a week on the highest heat with bleach, and that will kill the majority of the bacteria. Laundry baskets are a big one too. So your sweaty workout clothes, underwear, all that can throw constant bacteria in there. So what you can do is use a bag for the dirty clothes, one for the clean stuff, one for the not clean stuff, and also keep something for things that are wet so they don't just sit there and sit for days as they dry. That's a breeding area for the bacteria. On the go, you got things like headphones, and again, stick them in the gym bag, and they're sitting around the bacteria. You can actually clean those and get just a gentle soap and water mix and wipe those down, which is a good idea. Keys are another one. Simply can disinfect the keys. So a lot of people don't think about it, but there's a lot of bacteria breeds on that just by the keys sitting around and whatnot. But the other thing too is that's interesting. Handbags, yoga, your exercise and workout mats. You just wipe these things down. Just don't leave them. You can use a little bit of bleach and water mix, or there's really, if you want to go more on the natural side, there's some great products at most of your health food stores now that are natural cleaning agents, okay, that are really good. They can be very, very helpful. Shoes are a big one, though. I think shoes are underestimated. Studies found that shoes can track significant bacteria indoors, infecting clean floors, and some researchers have found that shoes are more specifically transport E. coli and bacteria and can cause things like pneumonia. So what you can do is take your shoes off before you enter the home. and have a no shoe policy inside the house, and that tends to help. So just some basics that you can use to really help. But keeping the place clean is important. I mean, it's not like we got to live in a bubble, but you want to do everything you can to keep the bacteria levels and keep your environment as clean as possible. Let's go to the phones and talk to Nancy. Hi, Nancy.
I have an 8-year-old son who has an issue with body odor, particularly in his breath and his bowels. And I know that is very likely a digestive concern. Wanting to know what we can do to modify his diet in some way. He's a good eater, eats really healthy food, but what we need to be doing to modify his diet.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can do. You want to focus on gut health. Anytime there's any type of odor that's going on, you focus on the gut health. Gut health is everything, all right? Stinky gut, stinky breath. Stinky bowels, stinky gut. Okay, they're all connected. So you just want to look at things like probiotics, which you can get in. I like Theralac. You go to Theralac.com. Great probiotic that can really get in and do the work. The other thing too is that's really important that you want to look at is fermented vegetables. And so if he's into like kimchi, or you want to try that out, a lot of the fermented vegetables can be really good. And then fermented dairy products. So a lot of the fermented dairy products are super to be able to use. And I would consider that. I would start doing kefir, which is really good. A great source of probiotics that can help quite a bit. So I would jump in and look at that. It's a great way to start getting the things you need as far as the bacteria goes. Because once you start building the good bacteria up in the gut, that's when everything starts to clear. And what you'll notice is, even with body odor of any kind, most of it, once you start having really good bowel movements and non-smelly, non-odorous bowel movements that really don't have a smell to them, that's when you'll notice a big difference. And that just comes with time. So you have to make sure that the gut is healthy, and that comes from the foods and even the right kind of bacteria. Puts another hour in the charts. I want to thank our producer, Jay Patrick, engineer John Garrison, and the rest of the team. Go tell one person something you learned on the show. Together, we can transform the health of our friends, our families, and our communities. You're listening to the show that helps you get well, stay well, and live well. We're diagnosing hope one person at a time.
Did you know you could listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the Asa Rx audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.
Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. It's a new prescription for a new you, America. Let's go to Terry. Hi, Terry. Welcome to the show. How can I help?
How are you tonight?
Living well. What's up?
Well, a couple of weeks ago, I would hear the very end of your Health Minute every time I turned the radio on, and it was about warts. And I have a daughter who has a couple that are underneath her fingernails, and she's had these since she was a teenager. And the doctors never wanted to do anything because they didn't want to, mess up her nail bed. I'm just wondering if there's anything that she could take to help with those.
Well, the standard is salicylic acid. It kind of burns off the wart, kills the virus, because that's what a wart is. It's a viral infection. And that can work externally, but there's still internally some things that need to happen. You can use ionic silver. What is her age?
She's 23.
Oh, okay. She's an adult. I gotcha. Yeah, she can handle about 20 drops of ionic silver 2 to 3 times per day, and I would use wormwood tincture. Wormwood works very well. Use it 21 days on and about 7 days off. It works very well. It tastes terrible, but it works well. And I would use those two. And then, of course, on the external part, you put the salicylic acid in it. You put it over it about 3 times a day. It's the standard stuff you get at any drugstore. And it technically will make the skin go dead, and it will burn out or they call it burning out, but it really just kills the virus around that. But you got to handle it internally. If not, that's why the wart keeps coming back and you can't get rid of it. So
right. How much of the wormwood tincture will she use?
She can handle about 20 drops twice a day on an empty stomach. Will be
okay,
fine.
Now let me ask you this. Let me throw one more kink in this. She is nursing.
Throw
is
me
that
the
going to be a
kink.
problem?
She's nursing right now?
Yes, she's nursing a baby, so is that going to be a problem?
Yeah, it throws a big kink in it. Can't do the wormwood.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
What she needs to do is she needs to just deal with the warts till she's done nursing. Mm-hmm. And once she's done nursing, that's when you need to do it. Because, the wart's not life-threatening. It just bothers her.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do the salicylic acid on the outside of the skin. That's not going to mess up anything. But I would not do anything on the internal side. The one thing she can do is she can do oregano oil. Now, it's good with antiviral, antibacterial, and anti-yeast, and it's not really going to affect her as far as the breast milk goes or anything like that and affect the baby. So you can do a tablespoon of that a day and a tablespoon of cod liver oil. Those will actually both be beneficial for the baby. So I would do that, get started, and let me know how things go. But wait on the wormwood and the silver until after she's done nursing. Thanks so much for the call. 888-283-7272. Let's go to, I think it's Charlotte T. Is that right? Charlotte. He just spelled it wrong. Welcome, Charlotte.
I'm having a lot of trouble with my sugar.
Okay.
I've been on prednisone, and I've had to go to the hospital lots of times and to get it lowered. I'm on insulin at home, 40 units. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that I can do to bring my sugar down on my own?
There's a lot you can do to bring your sugar down on your own. Now, Charlotte, have they talked to you, or have you changed anything with your diet and what you eat every single day?
No.
All right. Let me tell you this. Food is your best medicine. It is the one thing that will change you more than anything else. Now, the insulin is keeping you stabilized, but it's not going to get you well. You follow me? So it's managing your health. It's not changing your health. We need to do things that are going to change your health. And what you eat is the main thing, because it is type 2 diabetes, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, what you ate got you into this situation. So if you haven't made any changes and you're living the same lifestyle, eating the same things, doing the same things that you've been doing for the past 5-10 years, then you're fueling the fire. You're not making any changes that are going to get you out of where you are. So let's talk about what's going to do that. In my book, Empowering Your Health, I talk a lot about what's called an anti-inflammatory diet. It is the diet that we use clinically all the time for people that are dealing with diabetes and a host of other health challenges. So first thing you want to do is you want to change the way you eat. Every meal, so if you get your carbohydrates from fruits and vegetables alone and that's it, then you're going to be in a good spot. Then you also want to have good healthy fats, the omega-3s, 6s, and 9s like almonds, walnuts, cashews, and avocados. Every meal, you need a protein, you need a carbohydrate like a fruit or vegetable, and you need a good healthy fat. If you eat like that and keep those 3 meals a day with a couple of snacks in between, that's going to help stabilize your blood sugar levels so that your pancreas, which is the little gland or organ that secretes the insulin in your body, will begin to balance out and begin to stabilize. So are there things you can do? Absolutely, Charlotte. You start eating that way, get a copy of my book, and start following that diet, and you're going to do very well. Now, let me tell you a couple of supplements that will help too, and you can pick these up at your health food store. One of our health coaches can help you. You want to do ionic chromium, ionic vanadium, ionic manganese. Those are 3 minerals that you can do. So chromium, manganese, and vanadium. And then there's also an antioxidant called alpha-lipoic acid, or ALA. All 4 of those together, you take them with each meal, and it'll help stabilize your blood sugar levels and help you. Now, the short-term victory for you is not going to be just to come off of insulin completely, but it's to see 40 units go down to 30 units, and then pretty soon 30 units will turn into 20 units, and then it'll turn into 10 units, and then 5 units, and see, that's the victory. That's what we want to see to get your body stabilized, and that's when you're going to start to win and see your body function the way it was designed to. So there's a lot you can do. All this really lies in your hands. And just as much as you've done the wrong kind of things over the years to get your body into a place where your blood sugar levels are not where they need to be, you can make these radical changes right now and see your health improve. And see, all that lies in your hands. You can make the changes today to get better health for tomorrow. And that's what we want to see for you here on the show. So let me know how things go. Stay in touch with me. Do those basic things and watch what will happen. You're going to start going to your doctor, and they're going to be like, what are you doing? What things have you changed in your life? It's going to empower them and encourage them as well as to see your health and your life change. Thanks for the call. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. You're listening to the show where your health is your greatest wealth. Let's go to Joan. Hi, Joan. Welcome to the show.
Having a problem with, my doctor says I have high cholesterol, high blood pressure, irregular heartbeat.
Okay. And you want to fix it, right?
Yes.
As we say in the South.
And I want to fix it with natural medicine, no over-the-counter drugs.
I understand. Are you taking medications now?
I stopped.
You stopped?
Yeah.
Now, did your doctor tell you to stop, or you stopped?
I stopped.
All right. And we need to talk about that, because high blood pressure, I'm okay if you went cold turkey on the cholesterol medication, but the blood pressure medication is something that you need to really consider. So why don't we do this? We'll go into a commercial break right now, and we'll talk about, when we come out of it, we'll talk about high blood pressure, high cholesterol, ways to manage those, and using medications, but also doing it for more of the natural or preventative side of things, and how to get your body working right, because remember, cholesterol is a liver issue, but it can also affect the heart. We'll talk about ways to balance that when we come out of this commercial break. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. I'm your health and lifestyle coach, diagnosing hope one caller at a time.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at InShapeNetwork.com.
Then we can lifestyle our way into getting sick. We can lifestyle our way out and get well. We just have to make the kind of changes in our life. We have to make the mental shift. Then we have to decide that we want to get well, we want to stay well, and we want to live well. So it's important that we understand that. And if you do, and you can make that shift within your mind, so much can happen in your life. And it really comes down to the want to. And I'll talk about that all the time because it's true. And we have medicine, and we have all kinds of great information. We can create nutritional tips. There's all kinds of tools that we can use to help our health. But really, when it comes down to it, whether it's the latest diet fad or supplement or whatever it might be, the reality is if you're not ready, that's the one thing that, when you're working with patients as a physician, you can see that. I mean, instantly, you're able to walk into a room and talk with someone, and they say that the average doctor can make a diagnosis, or not that they can make an accurate one, but they make a diagnosis in their mind, typically, in the first 18 seconds in a room. That's pretty staggering. It takes a lot of prideful intuition, I think, to be able to do that quickly, rather than listening to all the facts and to actually formulate, what's really going on with the person. And it's amazing to me that happens, but at the same time, I think more than anything, and that was quoted by Jerome Grootman, by the way. He wrote a book about hope and being a physician. And it's pretty incredible when you look at that and think, I think doctors know more than anything if a person wants to get well or not. And it really comes down to that, because if a person has an attitude that they want to get well and that they want to stay well, they want to live well, they want to thrive with their health, they don't really want to be sick. Some people find their identity in being sick. Some people can find who they are. They like the attention. It's attention they've never received before. And they get into a place where the attention actually becomes the driving force for a disease process. It becomes who they are rather than just a health challenge they're dealing with or they've been faced with.
if they could come up with a new set of choices and a new set of circumstances to get them out of that health challenge. And that becomes where the victory is. It just depends on a person and their willingness to be able to move through that. And that's what it means, to be able to get well, to be able to mentally get well, meaning that you have a shift in your mind. And I mean, for some people, that may mean that your medicine gets cut in half. Well, you're still on the road to getting well, because if you're taking 500 milligrams of medicine every day, the doctor said you're going to have to take it forever. And now through your lifestyle choices and the choices that you're making now, you're able to cut the medicine down to 200 milligrams a day, and your body's functioning at a higher level. Then are you winning? Yes, you are. And that's what's important. It's important to learn the fact that your body can change, but your mind is the one area that has to get well first. And that's what we want to help you do here on the show. 888-283-7272. Let's go to Joe now. Hi, Joe. Welcome to the show.
How you doing, Dr.?
Living well, man. What's up?
I'm having a gum problem. Real gums. Anything that I can use for that?
Okay, your gums are what's going on with your gums? Have you been to the dentist, and did they tell you something?
Well, I guess it's been about 4 or 5 years since I've been to the dentist.
Okay. What's going on with the gums? Are they hurting?
Well, they get a little sore sometimes.
Typically, if the gums are getting sore, your body's getting a little bit low in vitamin C, or it could be periodontal disease, which is where there's an infection in the gum lining, right on the edges, and it can cause the gums to recede. It can cause a little red line to form around them, and it's periodontal disease is pretty common after the age of about 40 with folks if they don't go to the dentist on a regular basis. So, I mean, you don't go every 6 months and get your teeth cleaned and all that?
Oh, it's been a while since I had my teeth cleaned.
Well, I mean, has it been 5 years?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. I mean, Joe, the only thing you need to do, I would just go to your dentist. I'd make an appointment sometime in the near future, maybe the next couple of weeks, and go in and see them. And what's going to happen is they probably will, if it is periodontal disease, they'll probably treat that. Okay, and there's cleaning that they'll need to do within the office. But, the whole thing about going to your dentist every 6 months is not just a gimmick, but you've got tartar that builds up on, around the teeth, and it gets down into the gum line, and that's what can create a lot of the periodontal disease. And again, the older we get, the more susceptible we are to that disease, and it's not a good thing. Obviously, it can lead to a lot of issues. And believe it or not, having a healthy gum line and having a healthy oral cavity, mouth, is critical to our health. Matter of fact, Weston Price, who was a dentist, he actually found so much correlated with what was going on inside of our mouth throughout the rest of our body, and a lot of disease processes that can start within poor dental care, and that could lead to other areas within the body. So it's important. It really is. If you check out that information, Weston A. Price Foundation, if you want to read on how he tied all that together, pretty impressive. But yeah, I would consider go to your physician, go to your dentist here in the next couple of weeks and see what they have to say. You don't want to let that sit. It'll only get worse. Definitely not going to get better. Vitamin C would be a vitamin that can cause some of the soreness within the gum line, but I mean, this is not one of those things where I'm telling you, take vitamin C and then call me in 2 weeks. I'm not even doing that at all. I'm saying go see your dentist and consider looking at some vitamin C. And ask him about it, or her, whoever you see. And you'll find out that, there's probably some bacteria that's built up in there they need to treat and take care of, and they can. But, beyond that, you might want to look at cleaning up your diet a little bit, entering in some vitamin C, and keeping that level up too. But it's more about getting that repetitive care with your dentist. And that's just going to keep you out of having any potential periodontal disease, which we're seeing more and more. It's because of not just poor hygiene habits, but it's also poor dietary habits that lead to that as well. Are you ready to chow? It's time for Keto Chow. When it comes to eating healthy, the keto diet has become one of the nutrition leaders in optimizing health, losing unwanted weight, and reaching your health and wellness goals. No extravagant cooking, no long kitchen cleanup, and most importantly, especially for me, it's convenient. Just put quality Keto Chow powder in a bottle, add some heavy whipping cream or your favorite fat, a little water, and boom, shake it up and you're ready to chow. Keto Chow tastes amazing. So make Keto Chow easy for you and your family today with Keto Chow. Let's go chow. Visit Keto Chow online at ketochow.xyz. That's ketochow.xyz.
To find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
Great information to empower your health and your life, and also Facebook and Twitter. If you're not on there, you need to be. Get all behind the scenes. Also, if you have questions about your health, you can drop them on there as well. We'll do our best to answer and give you the help that you need. Vitamin D protects against age-related vision loss. ABC News reported they're warding off vision loss in old age. I love vitamin D. This is really the wonder nutrient of our time. I think vitamin C was so big back in the 50s and 60s, and this is just that new nutrient that we've discovered that everybody's deficient in, and it's like every day we're finding new things that it affects, and it comes, we get vitamin D from the sun, it hits our skin, and then is stimulated within the body. But we need it from our diet too, just because of so much of what we do is indoors, and we're just finding how much we need it. And it's just important. It's one of those things that everybody needs to be taking, really. You got to be careful. You need to have blood work done to make sure, because it is fat soluble and it can build up and get too high in the body. But the number to keep in mind is 70 to 90 on the blood test. And different physicians will have different thoughts on that, because, see, the range is between 30 and 100 in this quote-unquote safe clinical range. And when you get down around 30, 40, it's still too low. You can still see things like osteopenia, osteoporosis. You still see hormone issues being there, depressed mood, a lot of those type of things still will be around when you've got those levels even on the low side of normal. So it's better to get them up, and it's better to have them between about 70 and 90. That's where you start seeing the peak benefits of vitamin D. So warding off the vision loss in old age will have more to do with what's in your kitchen, they say, than what's in your medicine cabinet. According to the new research published Monday, women who consume high levels of vitamin D through fish, dairy, eggs, and leafy greens could lower the risk of macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss later in life. You can cut it by 59%. In Monday's study, women who consume the most vitamin D cut the risk of developing early AMD by more than half when compared to women with vitamin D poor diets. Researchers found that risk is lowest when the patients consumed about 720 international units of vitamin D3 per day through foods such as cold water fish, leafy greens, and dairy. And I just want to note with that 720 units is not a lot. It's bare minimum. I mean, you can handle up to, most adults typically need around 5,000 units per day. Kids need and can handle about 1,000 units per day. So work with your doctor on it. Check the labels, because different brands, they have different absorption rates. I personally am a big fan. You want D3, but you want it from a very strong company that you know and you can trust. They make a liquid bioidentical vitamin D, and I'm a real big fan of that. It absorbs very well. It's utilized well, and it comes in liquid, so it's easier to dose out for children and for adults. And it's just a lot better. You can mix it with because it is an oil-based vitamin, a fat-soluble vitamin. It's better to mix that with, say, cod liver oil, because if you don't want to just take it with water. It'll cut down the absorption rate. Why? Because water and oil don't mix, and it does cut down on the absorption. Daniel in Largo, Florida, he writes, I'm recently divorced and currently in the process of starting over. Sorry, Daniel. I know that's a tough part of life. I'm under a lot of stress. Is there any certain diet I should be following? Well, if you're under a lot of emotional stress, there's several things that you need to do and that you need to consider. One is dietary changes, whether you're in stress, out of stress, life is great, life is a little bit tough. Whatever you're going through, diet is the key. And it's important to follow an anti-inflammatory diet regardless, to cut down on inflammatory foods as much as possible, and balancing everything out. Equal amounts of lean protein sources like chicken, fish, beef, or eggs, low glycemic carbohydrates in the form of fruits and vegetables, and the good healthy fats, the omega-3s, 6s, and 9s, almonds, walnuts, cashews. So getting that, those are all in my book.
and the anti-inflammatory diet is in there. And it's important to follow a good regimen, a steady regimen of those sorts of foods and getting a good foundation. But if you've just been divorced and you don't have the propensity to be depressed, you just feel stressed about it. Life is changing, and it's a tough thing to go through. It's really good. Obviously, I would talk with a physician, make sure that you don't need any antidepressants just to get through a tough time. And you might, I hope you're going to counseling of some kind. It's important, no matter how tough you think you are, to go through a time like that. It's still good to see someone and to talk with someone about it, because it's just good to get it out, and you can work through some really good items. Remember, the mental side of our health drives so much within our health that it's important to make sure that that's taken care of. But serotonin and dopamine are your two neurotransmitters that are vital in this. And keeping those levels up because of the way you feel and outside forces that can kind of force those down, keeping those balanced out and keeping those strong is going to keep you strong mentally and keep your health where it needs to be. So let's talk about a couple of things that can be helpful in that regard. Serotonin and these are two brain chemicals, neurotransmitters, big fancy word. But it's the dopamine is kind of our feel-good chemical. Serotonin is too, but serotonin, when it gets low, dopamine gets low, we get a little irritable as men. And when serotonin gets low, we just get bummed out and we lose our energy, vitality, just don't feel like doing much. Life gets a little tough. And so let me give you or paint a picture for you a little on what can be done. Now, with serotonin, certain foods can be helpful for that. And that's chicken, fish, salmon, spinach, beans, and turkey. All of those can be beneficial for raising serotonin levels from a food perspective. And then you've got to look at things like certain supplements. 5-HTP, very good for balancing and stabilizing serotonin. Usually use that before you go to bed. And it goes through the process of working with melatonin to make the serotonin. So it's a little couple-step process that does that. Tryptophan is involved. And it's been documented to be a very good supplement. So that's something that's important. Then also vitamin B6, pyridoxal 5-phosphate, is a version of B6 that works, and niacinamide, a version of B3. All those have been shown to help stabilize and create serotonin or more serotonin within the brain. Let's go to Juanita. Hi, Juanita. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you.
Sure,
I've
darling.
heard a lot about you, and I've been listening to you because of my son.
Well, great.
I'm a 60-year-old single grandmother, and I'm raising grandsons, very active. The youngest one is 10.
Wow.
I have artificial hips. I've had back surgery. I've had heart attacks. I have asthma. My thyroid doesn't work. I take medicine for that. And what I need to do is lose weight so I won't be so tired and I can keep up with these little munchkins of mine.
It's keeping you young, Juanita.
They have my life totally changed, and I think I'm living longer because of them. But it's kind of wearing me down. My knees are wore out, my elbows are wore out, and I was wore out before they came along.
So you need a game plan to keep Grandma from falling apart here in the middle
yes.
of it all. Okay. All right, so if everything's hurting, let's talk a little bit about, because inflammation in the body is always a starting point, making sure that we get inflammation down, that we get a good stable environment. That's going to be the key. So talk to me about your diet. Give me a little clue with what you eat on a typical basis, breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
I usually, we have chickens. We raise chickens, so I eat eggs and for breakfast. I love tuna fish sandwiches. I eat a lot of tuna. I eat lots of, we eat 5 meals a day because of their boys. And I figure even if we eat less, we eat more often. I just eat anything practically because usually I'm on the run with them. They both have autism. So they...
I can hear the chickens. I can hear the roosters out there now.
Yes, we have roosters and goats. And like I say, I keep busy, but yet I keep gaining this weight. And I have high cholesterol, and my triglycerides are off. And I've asked the doctor about how to lose some weight because I'm about 60 pounds overweight. And they just keep telling me, try.
That's right.
And I need it. My son has registered me into a gym, which we just did that a week ago. So, but you have to travel across town to get to it.
I feel like this is the Green Acres version of our show here today. I can hear roosters in the background, goats walking around. This is great, which actually kind of is exciting because what a great way to live. My goodness. Do you drink goat's milk? Do you milk the goats and all that?
Well, we haven't lately. In fact, I love goat's milk more than anything, but we don't do that yet. They're mostly pets. Like I say, my grandchildren have autism, and I try to keep them busy tending to animals and give them some responsibility. And it's a lot of work for me, and the more work I do, it seems like the more I eat.
Yeah, I understand. Wow, that's great, though. You're being such a great example for those kids. And with autism, which is a challenge within itself, they're very blessed to have you. Let's get into a game plan for you when we come back.
Did you know that you can listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
Juanita, really a just unique individual, and I say that because being a grandmother and now taking care of her grandkids on a farm, they have autism, and so you're doing everything you can to keep yourself together and body functioning at a high level, and yet being there for them, having the energy, having the vitality to keep up with them, and really to play mom now, even though you're grandma, and which is a task within itself, but I think, and like you said, it keeps you young, but your body needs to be able to keep up as well. And probably from the stress, you were saying you eat a little bit more than normal and probably hanging out with the boys a little bit more too. And so how much weight do you think is excess on you that you need to drop?
60 pounds.
Okay. So you know that for sure. Now,
yeah.
being out on the farm and whatnot, are you in a place where you can get into town where maybe you could get with like a personal trainer at a gym, like a YMCA?
Well, my son registered me for a gym. It's across town, and I can get to him. But I was thinking more like, what could I do to, as far as eating? And I don't know what a gym person does.
Well, yeah, no, I'm going to explain all that to you. I just want to make sure that that's available. I mean, is it like an hour drive, 30-minute drive?
It's about a 30-minute.
One way?
One way.
All right. Then here's the deal. 3 days a week. And I'm telling you this because it's big picture. 3 days a week, it's going to be important. It was me. If I would 3 days a week go to that gym and set up time with a trainer. And I would do that, don't do them back to back. Do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or however you want to orchestrate your days is fine. But you want to get with a trainer, and you only need to do it for about a month. And you go there and you work out with the trainer for about a month. Keep a journal, so write everything down of the exercises and the way that they put that together for you. Write everything down, every workout. Okay. And then you can use that workout for about 6 months, 3 to 6 months. And you can just kind of modify it a little bit, use it, repeat it, change the weights up on it. And then in about 6 months or so, go for another month with a trainer. Maybe pick a different trainer, and you'll get different workouts. Write those down, and you can use them. That way you're not spending a lot of money. You'll spend, $20, $25 per training session, but it's worth it. And then you'll have somebody there for accountability. You'll have someone to teach you how to do it properly. You won't be wasting your time, and you'll get great benefit from it. You'll learn how to do those kind of things because it is important. Because first of all, you're committed, you're driving, and you need the weight training, being that you're 60, because you need to have the weight-bearing exercise. You need to build the lean muscle mass. And that's why, I would just tell you, just go to the farm, go down and move some bales of hay and walk around the farm. But that's not going to help you really reach your total goal.
It's not. You need to go somewhere if you have the availability. And I didn't know if you were 2 hours away from a gym or a civic or community center or whatever. So the fact that you're pretty close, that's good. That's doable. That's not unrealistic. So that's something to work out, however you work your schedule out. Now, eating-wise, a copy of my book would be important for you. And I would get a copy of that. There's a diet in there called the anti-inflammatory diet. If you want to eat well, that diet will lead you down the right path. It creates and puts together foods that will bring health to the body, not take it away. And so eating those kind of foods are very, very important, such as lean quality proteins, chicken, fish, beef, eggs, and the low glycemic carbohydrates in the form of fruits and vegetables, which you probably have a lot of there on the farm. But you want to stay away from grains, okay, the grain-based food. And you can do gluten-free later on, but right now it's steer clear of all the grain-based or flour-based foods, bread, pasta, cereal, crackers. Those kind of foods they stimulate a lot of insulin, but they have a protein in them called gluten. And gluten is a real challenge because it creates a lot of inflammation in the gut, and it can create instabilities with neurotransmitters or brain chemicals, causing some challenges within the body and the brain. So by eliminating those, it's going to help you regulate your hormone system, regulate your metabolism, and then, of course, your body will start dropping weight. I mean, typically when somebody is going through where they've been eating the wrong kind of foods for a long period of time or overeating, they start following the anti-inflammatory diet. The average weight loss is about 28 pounds in about 8 to 12 weeks. Everybody's different, but that's typical. You'll find a real strong amount of weight loss. Now, for somebody that's already thin, they're not obviously going to lose that kind of weight, but it's all dependent on the body and where it is, how much inflammation it has, and kind of how much it needs to drop. The body has what it's called its own set point. And a set point is just it's really an area that the body kind of seeks to get into its own place. And so just understanding that is really important. So coming up with the right habits is what's going to be important. And on my website, you'll see there's certain health prescriptions. I call them the 7 health prescriptions. You can find those there, and they are certain keys that will get you into a really good place with your health. And I'm just excited for you. I'm excited that you're in a place where you're helping take care of those kids, that they have a grandmother like you that's willing to step up and say, you know what, you have autism. I'm so proud of you. I'm here to take care of you. And you're just going to make it happen for those kids. I think it's amazing. And it's being a remarkable person to do that. So I'm glad you've reached out to take care of you, because by taking care of you, to be energetic and vital and have everything you need, you're taking care of them. And it's a very selfless thing to do. But it's another hour in the charts. I'd like to thank our producer, Jay Patrick, Leslie Pardue, and the rest of the team. I'm your health and lifestyle coach. Go tell one person something you learned on this show, and together we can change the health of our friends, our families, and our communities. You're listening to the best in healthy talk radio, where we're diagnosing hope one person at a time.
Did you know you could listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the Asa Rx audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.
Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. America, remember, you can change. You can. All you have to do is have the radical changes that you need and the radical results that you're looking for. Our health can change, but you have to be willing to change. And really, we're in a place right now in America where I think, even though almost half the American population is overweight or obese, even though we've made poor choices for a long period of time, the great news is that we can change. The great news is that if we're willing to make the change, we have more education now than ever. We've learned more about health than we've ever known. We've learned more about prevention and lifestyle. It's kind of like there's nothing new under the sun, but there is a lot now as far as medical science goes
to how the body functions. And we've learned so much in the old days that we're bringing back to the new days and applying it. Things simple as getting our vitamin D levels up and how much that can radically transform our health and keep us out of things such as disease and certain disease process, as long as we're willing to change. But the key is, are you willing to change? Are you willing to go from where you are to where you need to be? See, that's the key. The key is wanting to know that you can live better, wanting to know that you can do better, wanting to know that your life can change. And we're going to talk about that. I want to talk so much about what we can do to radically transform our health on this show. And our food for the day, we're going to talk about that. It's coming up in just a moment. Remember, food is our best medicine. But there's a Wisconsin judge that declares individuals have no fundamental right to own cows and drink raw milk. In Wisconsin? Really? This is after being petitioned for clarification about his decision in a recent legal case involving individuals' freedom to consume raw milk and own shares of dairy cows. Judge Patrick Fielder vehemently declared that individuals do not have fundamental right to consume the foods of their choice, and essentially reiterated the state's position that raw milk is simply off limits. Now, let me just say for a second, because I'm a big fan of raw milk products. They're extremely important, I think, for our overall health. And one of the reasons the pasteurized dairy, even the organic pasteurized dairy, is not the best for us. The molecules change when you go through the pasteurization process. You get so much out of the raw cow and the raw milk. Raw goat's milk is just unbelievable as far as your health. And goat's milk is the closest molecular structure we have to human mother's milk. And so I just think I think it's absurd that we're not able to, as consumers, to be able to have the choice, really, when it comes to raw milk. But the Farm to Consumer Legal Defense Fund, on behalf of Zinnecker Family Farm in Wisconsin and several other farms, filed a lawsuit against the Wisconsin Department of Agriculture, Trade, and Consumer Protection back in February, asking it to clarify its interpretation of the law in regards to raw milk. You can check this out online. But Wisconsin is among the most restrictive U.S. states as far as raw milk is concerned. Raw milk sales to consumers are prohibited, but private cow share agreements in which the individuals purchase shares of their own cows are exempted. However, due to the onslaught of raids in recent years against raw dairies, private raw milk buying clubs, and even raw milk cow share programs, the plaintiffs simply wanted to clarify Wisconsin's stance concerning these alternate forms of accessing raw milk. So you can do that. Just so you know, if you want raw milk, it is, technically against the law to sell it in the states, but you can go in, and a lot of farms, you can go in and, kind of buy into a cow, and then you can get your gallon or so a week of raw milk from the cow that you partially own. And so it's just amazing the life that they had, and to watch that type of living on a farm and just having the good produce and the fruits and vegetables and just the grass-fed beef. I grew up like that. And just the health that you get from that versus what we have today in the regular population is just unbelievable. So I hope more people look into the raw milk and, really support the people locally around you, the farmers. No matter where you live, if you live in the city, it may be a little bit more difficult. But even in the suburbs, if you drive a little bit farther out, just look, because the farmers are around more than you would think. And, supporting them is always a great way to go. But what it'll do for your family, the health benefits are amazing. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. You can call me right now, be a part of the show, or whatever questions you might have. We're here to help. Let's go now to Jeff. Jeff, welcome to the show, my friend. How can I help?
I've got an itch on my left arm. It's right between my elbow and the end of my arm.
Okay.
It's been on there for about a year, a little over a year, and it just comes and goes. It'll last maybe a week, 2 weeks at a time, and then it'll stop, and it may stop for a month, but then it comes right back. There's no blemishes on my skin. I've used all kind of over-the-counter lotions, anti-itch creams, and nothing seems to help it whenever it starts to itch. I try not to scratch it, but it's just, even in my sleep, I scratch it till it's bleeding. And that's the only marks that'll be left on there, is just where I've scratched it.
Right.
I don't know what to do about it. It just drives me crazy when I'm awake, and evidently when I'm asleep also.
So it'll last for how long? When it comes on, it'll just come out of nowhere. It'll start itching.
Right.
And then it'll just go away.
It'll just go away.
You've been to the doctor, so you went to the dermatologist, I assume. And what did they tell you?
No, I have not been to the doctor.
Okay.
I've just used over the counter pharmacists at the drug stores. They've told me to use different things, but I have not been to a
How
doctor.
often will it happen? Is it weekly? Is it monthly? How often will it come and go?
It may happen all week long, and then it may stop for 2 or 3 weeks, and then it'll start all over. And sometimes it'll last a week, sometimes 2 or 3 weeks.
How's your stress level in your life?
I don't think I've got any stress.
Except this itch on your arm.
Sir?
Except the itch on your arm. That's about the only stress, right?
That's about it. I'm 49 years old. I'm perfectly healthy any other way that I know of.
Well, a lot of times when you have, let me just tell you this, when you have weird stuff go on with the skin, here's a little key to remember. All skin conditions, for the most part, are inside out, not outside in. That's why when you put the creams and hydrocortisone creams and all that, they don't really work that well. They do temporarily, but they don't get to the root cause. So a lot of times when you have weird itch on the skin, usually you have omega-3 fatty acid deficiency. We don't get enough omega-3 fats, and what that comes from is fish oil, not in the gel caps, but the oil itself. A tablespoon a day for most adults is what's generally recommended. So that might be something you want to look into. That'll help kind of cut down inflammation in the gut, and also cutting out wheat products and grains for a period of about a month or so. That's bread, pasta, cereal, crackers, all the flour stuff that many of us eat. That can play a big, big role in skin conditions, whether it's itching or burning or whatever it might be. Believe it or not, plays a big role. And again, that's cutting down inflammation in the gut. And I would go see your doctor, though. I would definitely have them run some tests and take a look at it. That's a smart thing to do always. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at InShapeNetwork.com.
Your health is your greatest wealth. I hope you know that. And regardless of what you're struggling with, there's always hope. There's always hope to get your health back. Whether it's diabetes or heart disease, arthritis, depression, anxiety, that your body can change. You can change. And our quote for the day comes from Benjamin Franklin. It says, "Energy and persistence conquer all things." And that is true. Energy and persistence conquer all things. Bob in Miami, Florida, he writes, "My mom is 51 years young, and she was just diagnosed with hypoglycemia." How is this different from diabetes? Well, hypoglycemia is low blood sugar, and it's kind of a precursor before someone could potentially be dealing with diabetes. It's just where the body doesn't handle the blood sugar very well, over-secretes insulin, it drops the blood sugar, causes you to be very tired and weak for a period of time, and it's kind of a yo-yo effect that can happen, but a lot of times it's kind of a setup or a pre-setup for diabetes. So, I mean, what do? Managing the diet is a key. Any type of blood sugar-related issue, always go to the diet. Always. You always jump in and make changes. Radical changes equal radical results. Now, you can make small changes. You can make those baby step changes, but really getting in and making those changes every single day to your diet, that's a key, especially with hypoglycemia. And chromium picolinate, very good. A lot of research on that. Vanadium or vanadyl sulfate, both of those, very good research on those. And alpha lipoic acid, ALA. They all have very good effects on stabilizing blood sugar. But I'll tell you, from a dietary perspective, making sure that you get plenty of good, healthy fats in your diet on a regular basis, and those are the good ones, omega-3, 6s, and 9s, all of those are very beneficial. So it's about making the right choices. And once you start doing that, everything changes. Even when you're dealing with something as simple with your mom, Bob, like hypoglycemia. Healthy fats are one of the best keys for regulating blood sugar. Make sure you eat a protein with it as well. That's just basic physiology, and that's kind of diet 101, as we call it. 888-283-7272. Lines are open. Let's go to Tricia. Hi, Tricia.
Hi.
How can I help, darling?
I was calling regarding my 5-year-old daughter. She has extremely red cheeks and will occasionally get white bumps on them. And then on her arms, she has white bumps from her shoulders down to her wrist. She's had it for about a year and a half, and I don't know what it is or what to do for it.
Now, what have the pediatrician said? You've been there?
Yeah, the pediatrician just said it was just dry skin and to put this heavy cream on it, which did absolutely nothing for it.
And so the little white bumps, do they spread or do they stay in one spot?
On her arm, it seems like they go they're kind of just all over. On her cheeks, it kind of just stays in one spot. Her cheeks will get really red, and then she'll get little clumps of white bumps, kind of closer to the eye area.
And do they go away?
Yeah, the ones on her cheeks when it looks like it's inflamed, red, the white bumps are worse, and then when it goes down and the inflammation's down, the white bumps will almost be gone, sometimes gone completely.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big issues with skin conditions, I talk about this often, and the skin conditions always come from the inside out, and that's why the creams typically don't work. So one of the big issues when you're looking at whether it's a child or an adult, and you're looking at the skin, coming off gluten is always a good kind of thing to do. And a lot of the research out there, gluten plays a big role in skin conditions. So it's probably a lot of what she eats, bread, pasta, cereal, crackers, all the flour-based foods. And so, literally coming off of those can play a big role. But your pediatrician, should kind of play a role in this too. And I know you've already been. They gave you cream. But I would talk about foods, food allergies. Maybe get tested for that. There's some blood testing that could be done for food allergies, which could be a potential issue. And omega-3 fatty acid deficiencies, which a lot of kids have, and probiotics. Probiotics put the good bacteria back in her digestive tract, and that's something that most kids and even adults should be using on a daily basis for optimal health. So I think that's something you might want to look into if you haven't already. And the probiotics are very simple. A lot of pediatricians are big fans of them now and, recommend them often. So look into that as far as their skin condition, because remember, when you get the gut healthy, you get the skin healthy. And the skin's the largest organ, but what goes on in the digestive tract will show itself on the skin. And that's one of the big issues here in the middle of it, okay? Keep me posted on how that goes. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Lines are open. You want to talk about your health and your life, you can give me a call right now. Now, you talk about stroke victims, and believe it or not, we're seeing stroke, I think, more than ever. Well, they're saying singing may help some of the stroke victims regain their speech. A lot of times with stroke, speech is impaired at some level, but they're saying singing can now help stroke patients which suffer from non-fluent aphasia, which is a severe difficulty in speech, relearn how to speak, according to a new study. The researchers in Germany are pointing out, however, that's rhythm and formulaic phrases associated with singing, not the melodies, that makes the difference. The lyrics and the phrases of the patients were most familiar and had the biggest impact on their articulation, which I think is really interesting. And even when they were spoken and not sung, the investigators found and concluded that the findings could lead to the development of new therapies for speech disorders. Now, speaking difficulties are common among people who suffer strokes that damage speech areas in the brain's left hemisphere, but the right side of the brain, which supports the important functions of singing, often remains intact in these patients. Now, previous research suggests that singing would stimulate areas in the right hemisphere that would take on speech functions of the damaged areas. So interesting how something so simple as singing can regenerate and rehab the brain and rehab certain areas of the brain where speech is involved. So great research out there, and more is coming along the way. 888-283-7272. 80% of the health challenges we face today are diet and lifestyle related. That means that somehow, some way, we've lifestyled our way into getting sick. But the good news is, if we can lifestyle our way into getting sick, we can lifestyle our way out and get well, stay well, and live well. That's what the show's about. It's about empowering you to make better choices.
Are you ready to chow? It's time for Keto Chow. When it comes to eating healthy, the keto diet has become one of the nutrition leaders in optimizing health, losing unwanted weight, and reaching your health and wellness goals. No extravagant cooking, no long kitchen cleanup, and most importantly, especially for me, it's convenient. Just put quality Keto Chow powder in a bottle, add some heavy whipping cream or your favorite fat, a little water, and boom, shake it up and you're ready to chow. Keto Chow tastes amazing. So make Keto Chow easy for you and your family today with Keto Chow. Let's go chow. Visit Keto Chow online at ketochow.xyz. That's ketochow.xyz.
find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
You can also go online, shoot me an email. Glad to make it part of the show. And wherever you're listening to our show, we have our preferred wellness providers, a new program where I'm training doctors that believe and partnering with doctors that believe the way that I do. And we're kind of locking arms in these different areas. And, of course, so if you need to find someone in your area, you really got some tough health challenge, no one's been able to take care of it, you really haven't been to a doctor in a long time, and you want to go to someone, these are doctors that I trust that know and understand these principles that I talk about on the show, and they implement that in practice. They're called our preferred wellness providers, and you can find them locally. You can call the 800 number here on the show, and we have an entire staff dedicated to getting you the right doctor and the team that you need to take care of you in your area. So that's our preferred wellness providers. Call the same number, 888-283-7272, and it'll get you to the right folks that need to take care of you. So let's kick it off right now and go with Fred. Fred, welcome to the show, my friend. How can I help?
Well, first, let me make a little comment after saying good evening. Really appreciate what you do. You use your platform well, speaking for people that are uninsured, disenfranchised, so to say, unemployable. Medical attention is a long way off. And if it weren't for what you do, a lot of times hope would be lost. So
thanks a lot, man. That means a lot.
With that said, 56-year-old male,
okay,
38-year hard drinker, high-stress occupation,
okay,
40-year smoker, diagnosed in 2003, cirrhosis, Hep C. Due to the structure of some of the things with the insurance companies while off on medical leave, re-enrollment came up. I was not notified. So I've been basically using what social programs there are available, which doesn't go into any in-depth testing, screening, genotyping, anything of that nature. Had to move back home this March with my elderly parents who are disabled. Their resources are very limited. I have signed up for a medical program that's sponsored through the county. However, I'm in a holding pattern until that is approved. Approximately 60 days ago, pain in the abdomen became real severe. Had to make a trip to the ER, which I didn't like to do, but didn't know where to go from there. CT scan was done, enlarged and irregular placed lymph nodes in the pancreas area.
Okay.
In the last 60 days, the diets went from good greens, the good foods in moderate portions, small meals every day, multiple meals, to baby food, store-brand nutrition drinks, and it seems to be getting worse. I've got approximately another 90 days to go before whether I know I'm going to be approved to get any in-depth screening, maybe set up a prognosis for a treatment plan. So what can I do myself now that I'm not doing?
First thing, always, especially when you're dealing with the liver and Hep C, you've got to deal with your eating habits. That's first and foremost, okay? So, I mean, that is the key, really, because the regeneration factor and doing everything you can to make the best choices so your body can function at the best level it can, because already there's damage done to the liver, and so you want to do everything you can to put the good stuff in the body so it's not struggling as hard.
Correct.
All right. So have you made any major changes in your diet or no?
Well, like I said, within the last year, I had gone from my normal diet, which I was able to eat, which probably wasn't real healthy for me, to mainly steamed fresh vegetables, done away with the breads, the wheats.
I gotcha.
Milk seemed to bother me real bad, pretty much done away with it. And then about 60 days ago, it got to where the food just seemed to flush right through me, any kind of solid food. Along with nausea and vomiting, and I'm talking 2 and 3 day bouts after a small meal of solid food. So I started with the baby food, basically. I didn't want to shut my system down, but didn't know what else to do. That was the only thing that would stay with me and to give me a little bit of nutrition, and the nutritional drinks, store brand, and that's where I'm at now.
Okay. Well, nutritional drinks for sure. If you're gonna go liquid at all, make sure that you use something like Food Balance, which you can get at lifestyleresearch.org. And the reason is it's hormone free, it's antibiotic free, and the quality of what you're putting in right now is extremely important. So the vegetables and all. I mean, you sounds like you're making better choices for sure. But is the pain that's been in your abdomen, does it come and go? Tell me a little bit. Is it a 10? Like 10's the worst. On a 10 scale, what would the pain level be?
Okay, I normally walk around with about a 6. I've learned to manage that through breathing and just relaxation exercise. I've learned to tolerate that. Okay. But usually 1 to 3 times a day, I'll have one heck of a flare-up. It gets to a 10. It's a sharp stabbing pain in both my abdomen and my liver, and what concerns me now is the abdominal pain to the left side below the rib cage is really getting worse than the liver is. And I'm, my abdomen's real distended. I have to prop up with a couple of pillows, or I feel like I'm basically drowning, can't breathe.
Right.
So
the doctors at this point, did they guide you nutritionally at all at any level?
There was no offer of any kind of diet. Basically, I mean, I don't blame the doctors because they need to be paid too. So everybody's in a holding pattern. We're waiting on to see if this social program through the county will pay for anything. So,
but meanwhile,
basically,
here you are.
I have checked with them, and as far as, I don't want to call it superficial, but as far as any type of testing, any kind of treatment plan, basically their funds are so limited right now. I mean, they will test you and say, yes, you do have this. But as far as genotyping, as far as a lymph node biopsy, any PET scan, anything like that, nobody can do it right now. They don't have their funds, and they're trying to spread them out over so many people that they can't go into this specialized treatment, which you probably know I need, because their funds are limited. So, and the milk thistle, yes, it was good for me. I stayed on the omega-3s. Good. I did the cod liver oil, but, as my resources went away, which I thought I had a lot like most people in this day and time, but then when you're without employment for so long a period, you realize then you didn't have a whole lot between you and the wolf. So as that went away and we went down to a food stamp card every month and back home with the parents, you have to make choices on what you're going to spend that on. And, of course, I try to help them, too, because they're limited on their resources. So,
so
the supplements, they're, they're rather pricey if you want to get the good stuff. So, you have to look at where your money goes. Is it deodorant this month or is it milk thistle? So it's, but then, I can sit and listen to you and know that, you're giving people good advice for the right reason, within your litigation happy society and still trying to do what you can do for people. That's why I was saying earlier, when you fall through that crack, you often tend to be isolated.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for somebody like you out there that I can flip on and listen and gain some knowledge, useful knowledge, then almost all the time hope's lost in. So
that means a lot. That's what we're here for. And the one thing I don't want you to lose is hope. And the one thing you have to know, that with your liver, so much of it can regenerate. And I'm telling you, medical science has changed so much and become so good with viral issues like hepatitis C for the liver and helping the body. That's why I'm just going to believe with you this thing's going to go through and you're going to get the help that you need, and they can get in and they can do the biopsy and they can check. But now let me just run through some things. I'll just kind of run down a list a little bit of things that can help, from a couple perspectives. Now, there's a tea out there that's really good for cleansing in the liver. It's called Easy Act Tea. Easy Act Tea is not that expensive. It's fairly easy to get your hands on and very beneficial. Broccoli seed extract is also very good. It's something you might want to look into as well. Now, fasting is important too, but you need to do that with a physician's guidance, no doubt, especially at this point. So when this whole thing goes through with this plan, that's something I want to talk to your doctor about. Talk about partial day fast, using chicken broth, beef broth is more electrolytes and fluid replacement. that can really help the liver regenerate and stimulate a lot of the phase 1, phase 2 liver detoxification in that process. So a lot of things you can do. Look into some of the easy actines, some of those things as far as liver support. Glutathione is really good too. SOD is what it's called. Superoxide dismutase, extremely important, very regenerative to the liver, and just good for overall body function. So a couple things to think about. Now, that'll send you off and running to Google and the health food store to go look around and do some research. But I'll just be standing with you, believing that this thing's going to go through, and I want you to keep me posted. Thank you for all the kind words. We'll be right back.
Did you know that you can listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Connect with On Call Radio and watch On Call TV at InShapeNetwork.com.
Lines are open, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Check us out online. You can send me an email. I'll be glad to make it part of the show. Whatever you need, that's what we're here for. Here to take you from where you are to where you need to be. Now, here's the deal. We're talking about keys to weight loss. This is our weight loss hour that we're now doing here on the show. And you can call in. We got 1 hour. We dedicate it to weight loss, ways to lose those unwanted pounds, because it's one of the biggest epidemics we have in this country right now is not being able to drop the weight. And everyone wants to know why. They're looking for the gimmick. They've got the ab roller. You're on the special diet. You're fasting. You're doing the high fat, low fat, high carb, low carb, no carb. And you're trying to figure out, what in the world can I do to drop these pounds? Well, there's so many factors, but it really comes down to common sense. Let me tell you, no matter what, if you're on a weight loss plan or looking to lose weight, I don't care if it's 50 pounds or 15 pounds, it is critical that you get nutritional blood analysis done. Now, I'm not talking about regular blood work just for disease. That's very important. You want to do that with your doctor. Do it every 6 months with your primary care physician. That's important. I don't think you should even wait a year. I think you should do it every 6 months. And the reason is the blood changes about 4 times a year. It rolls over. Every 90 to 120 days, old cells die off, new cells form. It's vitally important to get your blood work done on a regular basis. But getting it done for like more of a nutritional analysis, checking out all the hormones, checking out everything that wouldn't normally be done, that is important to do as well. Do that twice a year. And it's very important. So nutritional blood analysis, extremely important to know exactly where your body is. And many times it's those last 15 pounds that everybody struggles so hard with. You ever notice that? It's that little bit of extra belly fat, or it's that little bit of extra hanging on the hips and thighs. Well, the deal is, if you get down, you figure out exactly what your body chemistry is doing, exactly what's going on with your body chemistry, that is where the key is overall. And figuring out what to do with that is where you're going to go to the next level with your health, and especially with weight loss and dropping those unwanted pounds. So getting down and figuring out what your hormones are doing, if there's any nutritional deficiencies at all. And here's a key. Leptin. Leptin is a fat-burning hormone within the body, and now we know it's one of the secrets to unlocking that fat-burning potential in your body. Simple blood test can verify it. It's expensive. Most doctors can't really code for it unless you've got a major medical condition that you're so overweight that it really covers for it. So that's something, if you're just doing it for general, you've got 10 pounds to lose, you just want to see where you are, it's more exploratory, it can be a little bit expensive, but it's very, very worth it. And it's something I would encourage you to have done. That and vitamin D, I think, are just 2 keys that need to be done regardless of what you're dealing with, and just kind of see where you are. But leptin is a key, and there's a lot of secrets to really dropping the weight, and it's all common sense. Once you get the keys and you have a good common sense plan, it makes a big difference. They said to banish belly fat, a great article, you want to drop the belly fat, vigorous aerobic exercise such as jogging or brisk walking beats weight or resistance training. That's what a new study shows. So if you're overweight or mildly obese and want to lose the fat, belly fat, visceral fat, or liver fat, now here's the interesting thing that says that. The visceral fat, the organ fat, can be almost more dangerous than just the regular belly fat. And they're saying that the aerobic training was better than resistance training. This was Chris Slentz, a PhD in exercise physiologist at Duke University. There was a new study done in the American Journal of Physiology, Endocrinology, and Metabolism. The belly fat fix study details, they say this: aerobic training group exercised by walking on a treadmill on an incline. They put equivalent of 12 miles of jogging at 80% of their maximum heart rate each week. And the resistance training group did 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions on weight training machines 3 times a week. The combination group did both workouts. Study lasted for 8 months. Slint's focused on visceral fat. It's located deep within the body around the stomach and fills spaces between internal organs. Think of that like the inside fat, and it's the one that's strongly linked to heart disease, diabetes, and other health problems. It's different from the subcutaneous fat, which is just underneath the skin, kind of more of that belly fat, and that's what expands the waistlines. But they found that the aerobic group did better. Now, here's the deal. It's great that they've done this study. And I wanted to read this to you because still the surge training that we have, which is more of hormonal training, is stronger of a physiological response for burning body fat even than this. So you can go bust your can and walk on the treadmill for 45 minutes. That's fine. You can go out and jog for an hour. But you can actually get more of a result in 20 to 30 minutes of busting your can, even 12 to 15 minutes they've done in some studies. Now, there's some workouts that say in 5 minutes you can do really, really well. Well, you can get a response, and you can get a decent response to the body. But you need a little bit more than that from the research that I've done. But it doesn't take much. And it's about the intensity. It's about having those surges of higher intensity and then resting for just a moment and then surging again and just really hitting it hard. A lot of research on that. And you increase growth hormone, you increase testosterone. So just think about it. It's about training smart. It's about working out smart. You don't have to spend a lot of time. You know, in our busy schedules, busy life, many people don't have an hour. You don't ever want to spend an hour because it'll increase a lot of the negative hormones like cortisol within the body. You want to keep it between, if you like to work out longer, don't ever go over 45 minutes. I don't care. I mean, as long as you're excited about it, that's great with me. But don't ever go over 45 minutes because you will lower testosterone, you will lower growth hormone, and you'll increase cortisol. You're going to store more body fat. And if you don't believe me, just try it. Cut back your exercise, but keep your intensity high and watch what happens to your body composition and watch how it changes. I think you'll be amazed at that. This is our special hour edition of Dropping Those Unwanted Pounds, our weight loss hour that we're getting ready to focus on. So if you've got questions for next week, you can shoot it to it, email me, and just put weight loss in there somewhere. We'll make you a part of the show. Or if you want us to call you in the show or call in on the show next time, we'll keep you posted. You can look on the website. We'll post that as well. Also at Facebook, join me there, and we'll keep you posted with all that's going on with the show. Puts another hour in the charts. I'd like to thank our producer, Jay Patrick. I'm your health and lifestyle coach. Go tell one person something you learned on this show, and together we can change the health of our friends, our families, and our communities. You're listening to the best in healthy talk radio.
Did you know you could listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the Asa Rx audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.